Let's do something about this. There we go. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? So it was my birthday on Friday. I'm a little older, I'm a little wiser, and while I hadn't actually ended up with anything specifically for my birthday that I was given, I sure as hell have spent some money to buy myself some robots to show you. And while you might have seen some rather tasty stuff in the little intro video thingamadoo, I'm not going to be talking about all that here because it's just too much of it, you can probably tell. So I'm taking some choice pickings from that and leaving everything that isn't really applicable to the theme of this video for another day, so sorry. So first up, we've got a bit of fruit yielded by the current Toys R Us reductions, and it's a drift. Yeah, I wasn't really planning on getting this at all because I wanted to get that big expensive box set that's got like all 5 of the Autobots in there and they're all painted really nice, and Drift looked especially nice with all the proper blue and gold and black trim and everything. But considering that that's 120 quid and then like shipping for a set which I've pretty much got 2 of the figures from already, when I saw this guy in there for 6 quid, I was like, why not? I have given him the Voyager swords just because they're infinitely better, but he's alright, he's okay. Yeah, the properly painted one would have been a lot better because I just kind of feel like you just need some proper paint on it. But sort of metallic blue stuff you get and little bits of gold here and there are alright, it's enough, does the job. Apart from that, his articulation is okay. It could certainly do with, like, I don't know, a more useful joint in his wrist than that. I mean, it allows you to sort of get swords resting on his shoulder, but apart from that, it's just a bit of a wiggle that really should have been a swivel. And then his legs, they're a bit, I don't know, they move alright, but there's a lot of bulk on here and his knees are really tight. And for some reason, he's got ratcheted hips going outwards. And, okay, it's nice, there's a bit of click there, but why is it there? And it certainly does feel like there are certain poses where all of the stuff on his back, which is now flopping more about because I've got it in the way of the stuff on his legs, gets in the way of the stuff on his legs and just stops you being able to do as much as you probably could and probably should be able to with a robot that looks like a samurai and wields beautiful katanas. But can we just talk about that for a second? Because I didn't really bring that up when I was speaking about either of the other 3 movie drifts I've got. So he's a robot from space that has come to our planet and thought, Japan's the best, I'm going to look like someone from Japan and be all samurai shogun time, and he's just obviously the universe's biggest weeaboo. It's like, you look at his face and it's somewhere in between, hey bro, wanna check out my katana collection? And Baka Gaijin. So there's definitely some sort of intrinsic comedy rolled up in this package, but it certainly doesn't really detract from him being a pretty good toy. And you know, robot samurais are cool, aren't they? Or are they not? I'm assuming they are because I've got almost every version of Drift that transforms now, apart from the horrid, awful, just nightmare-inducing looking giant ring like a towel flip and change thing, which I'm not going to touch, thank you very much. His alt mode is of course that car from Top Gear. I mean, really, who knows about that car outside of watching Top Gear? I don't know. I don't think that's physically possible. You don't go and buy that car if you haven't seen Top Gear. You wouldn't go to a showroom and think, oh, what's this? This looks nice. No, you're going to think, oh, that's the car of Top Gear. I'm going to go and buy one of those. So I've got like 100,000 quid to spend. It's quite good. It's blue. It's Bugatti. It's right. But I've got to say, it's not the first Bugatti transform we've had, and it just kind of feels like, I don't know, it's a bit of a dated car now, almost. I'm sure it must have been something like 2008, you know? It's a pretty old car now, and this guy doesn't do a great job of holding together as said car. It's like, you nudge it, it's probably just going to explode because all that's holding it together is the tension of some of the tabs along the side, and nothing really quite clips nicely. It's just all wedged together, which doesn't feel great. But for 6 quid he certainly hits the spot, and I can see myself going back and getting a few more age of extinction bits before it all suddenly disappears, because basically there's not much else for me left to buy in shops because I've only gone and bought pretty much all the combinable stuff already. Thanks to a hefty Amazon voucher from Minan, I went and got, well, the last 2 limbs that I need, because I haven't shown you the first 2 I've already got, but Skydive and Firefly, and well, they were on the Amazon Prime thing and I could get them shipped to me within a day and I didn't even have to leave the house to go and buy them. And yeah, it's kind of sad really, because I was all like really excited about Combinables, about the fact, oh, I could go into a shop and pick up Generations figures, and I've ended up buying the majority of them online anyway. But Skydive, what's he like? He's pretty nice. I've got to say, I left the robots till last because I've never really cared about them. They're all just the same dude wearing a different jet, and I've never done anything for me, and I was just like, I suppose I'll get them because I want all the limbs, and maybe I'll have a superior on. Yeah, because Silver Bulk's pretty good. But actually getting these in hand and being able to properly muck about with them, they are good. God, Combinables is really blowing it out of the water, sending it into the stratosphere, cascading through the centre of the moon and ending up somewhere in the Oort cloud, because even boring guys like the Aerobots feel really slick and fresh somehow. So Skydive here, he's nice and beefy, he's got big legs and he's just, well, he's really wide and he just feels good for that. It's nice to have a big stocky jet guy, and you can put the wings sort of a couple of different ways on his back so it doesn't look quite so egregious with the kibble, and I just like him. I like the colours. His arms are a bit weak at the elbows here, which is why I would never be able to really have him hold the gun chunk he comes with properly. But at least, unlike some of the others, you can actually stick it somewhere else, not to just have to have it in his hand. But yeah, it's really nice, and the jet mode is really nice. I mean, it's got a bit of junk underneath, but you'd sort of expect that from something that has to pull out 4 modes, so I can totally forgive this guy for every flaw that he might have, because there's so many nice little touches that just bring it up there. I mean, it's like inside his legs, there are struts here that do the transforming, and there's details sculpted on them, but you'd never see them in either mode, just in between. And it's like, it's just a nice little thing, a bit of an extra added bonus to the experience of handling this guy. The only real gripe that I have with this though is his wings. What's all this? What is all this? What's all this? Just a big swath of gold paint when there should be those slick lightning bolt decals, and I'm sure there are pictures that showed that on there, and I'm looking at this and thinking, surely it's cheaper to put a lightning bolt in gold on there than cover the whole wing in gold paint. Hasbro are always saying that paint's the most expensive thing, so surely you could actually save some money by putting the right paint up on here? What's going on? I mean, it still looks nice because it's all shiny, but the lightning bolts on his wings are really the only thing that I've ever taken away as a distinguishing feature from Skydive, so him not having them kind of feels like it detracts a little bit from him being a proper classics update and all that, but whatever, he's still really good in hand to fiddle about. And so is Firefly. Obviously they've lost the rights to that name because of course there was a former Cybertron guy that ended up being called Air Raid, and of course this is better because Air Raid is going to come along in Wave 2, and yeah, he's really nice as well. I was actually thinking he'd be the bottom of the list, and just kind of not that interested, but it just looks good. He's all nice and bright with all the white and the silver. He's all shining like pow. I look slick. I'm a jet, which is red, and I mean, it's not the right plane to be one, but it does put me in mind of Red Arrow. That's, yes, please, one day, can I have a proper Red Arrow transform? Please, yes. But I think ever so slightly, ever such a little bit, he inks his way up just above Skydive, because there seems to be a bit more character in his robot mode. It's just a bit more posable. It's just, I don't know. It's like the arms and legs. Everything's a bit more defined as moving a bit more, and you're just standing there, and he just has a good sort of power stance. His head sculpt is excellent. It moves all over the place. Yeah, it doesn't bother me in the least that all of this jet is just hanging there like that, because it just looks cool man. And when you take a closer look at his gun and realise that it has like a canister here and pipes and a little pilot-like thing there, you realise he is actually wielding a flamethrower and is living up to the name Firefly by obviously either committing arson or burning fools to a crisp. So that's pretty brutal, and it just makes me like him a little bit more. One thing to point out with him though is I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do with his arms when you put him into arm mode, because the instructions just sort of say to just took them out of the way around the back there, you know. If you look on his back, there are actually like odd clips here, and I don't know what purpose they serve, and I just can't help but think there's something there to notch into his arms for the combined mode, and there are notches in his arms which are in vehicle mode, and I'm like, does that go on there? No, I can't find a way to make it. And what are these for? What am I meant to be doing here? Firefly also gets bonus points for having actual landing gear, which is more than you can say for Skydive, but look at that, both of these jets are pretty darn rad, and I can't wait for air raid now because it's going to be so good. Feels like a while since I've had some properly nice, realistic, but maybe not too overly slavish deluxe jets like this. Yes, Air Force time. So, apart from mentioning how utterly mental I've gone for the new bionicle stuff, yeah, that's your lot for now. Yeah, so I'm not showing off a big combiner and sticking all these guys onto Silverbolt or anything like that. No clever montage stuff from me that's like a stock footage piece of anime for combining them super robotness. Oh, you haven't seen me talk about RC or Bombshell. Gonna have to wait for that, I'm afraid, because yeah, I'm trying to avoid at all costs another half-hour long video, and if I was to cram all that in here now, it would certainly last that long. So stay tuned, and we'll see how I progress with my new HD webcam. At least it's widescreen. I'm in the 21st century now. 640 by 480 is so 2011. My old webcam can rest now in that green glade of perfectly usable yet completely obsolete technology that I seem to be amassing. Catch you next time.